What happens to us after death? The answer to this question could flip everything we thought we knew. And this answer has been hidden for over 1,200 years in a manuscript that is essentially forbidden for most people. This ancient text describes the first 49 days after death. Why 49? And how does this change our perspective on life? Get ready to discover things you've never heard about death, reincarnation, and liberation from fear. We're going to talk about the Tibetan Book of the Dead, but brace yourselves, it's going to get intense. Have you ever wondered what happens immediately after death? How long does it take to realize you're dead? What if I told you that our life isn't the end, but simply a test? The Tibetan Book of the Dead reveals a shocking truth. The first 49 days after death aren't something to forget. It's a period that determines whether we will return to this world or finally break free from the cycle of rebirth. So what happens to the soul after death? Death isn't a moment of rest, as many people think. It's a transition to a new state, a state where time and reality lose their clarity. You find yourself in the so-called bardo, the space between worlds, and that's where the real test begins. Each of us, after death, will face our own illusions. We see what our mind creates: fears, regrets, unresolved emotions. Everything we didn't realize in life now surfaces. Most people don't realize they've died, and they start wandering through these illusions, reliving scenes from their lives which now seem more vivid than ever. But here's the paradox. It's all just a projection of your mind. But there's a chance, the light. This is not just a metaphor. There is a light that can liberate the soul from this endless cycle. But to see it, you need to be aware. Most souls fail to recognize it and remain trapped in dark illusions. They fear, they don't understand, they don't believe. What if I told you that liberation depends on you? If the soul realizes it's dead, sees the light, and doesn't cling to old fears, it can leave for good. No reincarnation, no returns. And now comes the scariest part. Since none of us are perfect beings, death brings not only liberation, but also a full review of our entire life. How do you think it would feel to face all your actions? In the bardo, this is inevitable. Every action, every word, you will have to experience it through the eyes of those you loved, whom you hurt, or whom you betrayed. And here's where the fall begins. Illusions stop us. It seems like it's all real, the people we know, the places we loved. But it's all deception. Only your mind can create such images. These illusions may deceive you and keep you trapped in a cycle of pain until you can recognize them. If you want to avoid the cycle of reincarnation, there's only one thing you need: awareness. You have to learn to see beyond the illusions and recognize reality as it truly is. This will help you transition to the next world without fear or regrets. Friends, death isn't what we fear. Death is what we don't understand. But if we start preparing for it right now, if we learn to recognize illusions and pay attention to our every action, maybe we won't fear it when our time comes. Don't wait for the end. Start realizing who you are and what you're doing today. Prepare for what comes after. Death is not the end, it's only the beginning. Share this video. It's time to see death differently, because it's not waiting.